First of all, I want to tell y'all, you guys look incredible. I'm going to call y'all out. I'm going to call you out. Up you go. Yeah, you. Yeah. You. Look at you. Look at how good you look. I noticed your face is showing her new bad self. Look at that. You know what? What I've noticed with you, it's just bam, all of a sudden. Just bam, all of a sudden. When you put that picture on the Facebook page, it's so darn noticeable right now. Yeah, oh, by the way, there's a girl over there trying to break the record today. She was trying to get 160 laps in today. She goes, I don't think I'm going to get it. Last I saw her when I was doing my class, she was at lap 85. You know what? Sometimes life happens. Sometimes life happens, and sometimes we have to let life happen, you know? But, like, you didn't even come in here with a cane today. No. We had that conversation, right? Right. There you go. And you've been struggling with the same weight for about a month or two. You know what? Let's kind of try to look at, you know, how much we eat of something, you know, because what we think is a serving is actually quite eye-opening that it's not really a serving. And it will make us kind of look at the fact that, do we need to be, well, first of all, let me ask, how many of you guys weigh your food? Weigh how much you're eating? Really? I would expect a whole lot more. How many people put it in a measuring cup and portion it out by a measuring cup too, depending on what it is? So, you know what, if you're in trouble, which, you know, we've had lots of talk and a lot of people said, you know, that they're struggling or they're really having a hard time, what would be the first thing I would tell you to do? Well, actually, first I would tell you to journal your food. Journal your food, and then I would tell you, you know, if you came to me and said, you know, I'm really struggling, I would tell you, you know what, don't worry about what you're doing right now, just write down everything you're eating. Write down, if it goes in your mouth, good, bad, whatever it is, write it down. So I've had people do that, and they've come to see me and they went, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing what I'm doing. You know, I mean, if you don't have that realization, it gets you in trouble. You know what? And it also depends on the density of your food. You know, you could eat something that is a whole lot more dense than a different something else. And you could eat more of the less dense, you know, so it's still 3 ounces. Yogurt versus chicken. Yogurt, you can probably get a whole lot more yogurt in than you can 3 ounces of chicken, right? And it really depends on, you know, if anybody had ever looked at anything called like the 5-day pouch test or anything like that, they talk about different kinds of foods. You know, when you do it, and I don't completely endorse it, but some of what they talk about is actually, you know, quite good, because they talk about the first couple days you're on clear liquids, then you go to like a full liquid diet, which is, you know, your cream soups and stuff. But then you go on to what they call soft slider foods. Soft slider foods are, you know, cottage cheese, your yogurts, the things that slide down there real easy and is easy to digest, versus the stuff like chicken where you really have to work to eat it, you know. So does that make a little more sense? And that's why it's important to kind of weigh your food and measure it, and because you could, if he's trying to have 4 ounces of rigatoni, that's a heck of a lot of rigatoni, though. That's a lot of room. That's a lot of rigatoni there, you know. But now, when you have pasta, I'll put that out there, because a lot of people, there are people who really struggle with pasta. How much rigatoni or pasta do you eat in a sitting? I take the pepper shaker out, and I will completely dump the whole pepper shaker in the restaurant on top of my food, just so I don't eat it. Because just like Mary said, I will sit there and eat it if I'm not going home. If I'm going home, as soon as my food comes, I get a to-go box, and into the box it goes. Into the box it goes. you have to figure out a way to control things that you're doing. So, and different than your weekday. You know, I play really hard on the weekend. I wish I could play as hard on the weekday as I play on the weekend. I'd be a happy, happy, happy girl. But I can't, so I have to find, I have to find a way to get it in. Like after we leave here, guess where I'm going? I'm going to CrossFit. But he's still got a good amount of protein for someone who's physically active. I can probably tell you myself, on an average, I'm 100 plus grams of protein a day. At least 100 grams, 100 plus, about 100, anywhere between 105 and 120 a day. Here is someone who on Tuesday, they had their protein drink at 6 o'clock in the morning at Premier, so it's 30. They had coffee, which 1 gram of protein. They had Chobani light yogurt. So, wow, what do you like? Vajay? He had a taco salad from dinner, so that's 27 grams of protein, or she, I'm making an assumption. But they're still making the effort to get the protein. My thought process is, there are proteins that we don't really want you playing in that realm. Like, you know, Atkins is not high on our list. You know, Ensure is not one that we encourage. Boost is not one that we encourage. Those are meant for people who have some medical issues, like the Boost and the Ensure and that kind of stuff, or the Glucerna. Those are for people who are diabetics that need to supplement their meals, not like the protein that we supplement with. It's not really a good kind of protein. What I would tell you is like not even Slim Fast, but Atkins, that's an emergency type of thing. If you were nowhere else and you needed something and that was the only thing you could get, I would say have it, you know. But my other thing is that we always really need to be prepared. Now, it's so important, so important to be prepared, to have everything ready to go. I had a conversation with a patient the other day, and I said, you know, you have to have stuff, because they were asking me, well, how, you know, I leave for work, and sometimes I don't get a chance to get my lunch, and then I get to work and there's nothing to eat. Okay? Do it the night before. You know what, and I agree, because I prepare everything the night before. I now have a refrigerator in my office. I'm so excited. And so I've been able to bring, like, you know, 3 or 4 lunches into my office that I have it there, that I'm good, you know. And I don't care that it freezes. I have a container of homemade soup in there. I've got a salad for, I brought yesterday I have a chicken salad with some artichokes and tomatoes for tomorrow. You know, so I have everything there, and I just bring it home, bring my little empty containers home. It just helps if you're prepared. For those of you who haven't had surgery or who are slowly moving forward towards surgery, that's the big thing, is being prepared. You know, I do okay, I'm prepared. You know, she does okay, she's prepared. You know, but I think what's the word I'm looking for? Almost once we let our guard down, you know, things can spiral out of control pretty darn quickly. See, because I do, for breakfast, I'll do an egg, 2 whites with spinach, peppers, and onions, is what I have for breakfast. And then I have a carb with it. You know, because you need the carb to kind of offset burning everything off. You need kind of that, you know. And you know what? And that's the other thing. People seem to think that you shouldn't eat carbohydrates. If you don't have that balance, you're going to be a little on the lopsided side. And the thing is that the balance, it doesn't have to be bread. It could be some form of fruit. It could be some brown rice, whole grain pasta. You know, it could be something, but you need to have that balance. And I personally was petrified of carbs for my first year after surgery. I don't think I ate anything that resembled a carb at all. Anything at all. I was just like, you know, but no one told me that, yes, you should eat a carb. I had to pretty much just figure it out on my own, you know. But that's the big important thing, is the balance. And sometimes it's really hard to balance, you know. Sometimes you're like, gosh, I just don't have time, you know, or you're feeling rushed to get dinner on the table or something like that. And you're like, okay, well, we just won't have that because it just takes a little longer to cook. You have to step back and say, I need to do that. So probably, you know what? Probably from some website like The World According to Eggface or something like that.
Oh, I think that's on
Costco muffins.
Well, they also have recipes where you can just put protein powder in your water.
Yeah, and the thing is sometimes you have to be really careful when you're throwing a protein powder in a food, because if you cook something hotter than 140 degrees, your protein's destroyed. Your protein's destroyed. So, you know, anybody who uses unjury is good. But if you make it hotter than 140, your protein is just basically denatured. It just kind of, you kill it off. You know, and that's so true. Is everything perfect every day? Are we perfect every day?
Just do the best every day. Try to make more.
One foot in front of the other. You know what? This can be one of the wildest roller coaster rides that you've been on. Just mentally, emotionally, physically. I mean, your body's changing constantly. You know, you wake up, you're one size. Then you go to bed the next day. You wake up the next day, you're another size. You know, or you get on that scale and you know what? You do that dance with that scale day in and day out. You don't need to do that scale dance day in and day out because it's just going to really get in your head. So. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's not like, you know, oh, I went and rode my bike, you know, 5 miles so I can go have a 300, 400, 500 calorie breakfast, you know, that kind of thing. You know, but you're working and you're working to earn it. But you know you're using that exercise to offset what you may be planning to do. I myself can still taste the minerals in water.
I can't too.
It's like, it doesn't matter what brand I buy, whether it's my sink, my refrigerator, Dasani, whatever. I can still taste all the minerals. It's like, to me it tastes like dirt. It's like, I have.
What do you flavor yours with?
Decaf iced tea. Decaf iced tea.
Yeah,
But you know what? We need to flush all that stuff out, you know. This is a 50-ounce bottle, and so I bring one with this in it, and then I bring my 50-ounce bottle of water. It's just water. By the time I get to work, and I only live 6 miles away, and I start drinking when I get up in the morning, I've drank about half of this 50-ounce bottle by the time I get to work. Okay, and then I finish that, and then I start on this, and then in between. Like, you know, if I leave work during lunch and go to the gym, I drink a 24-ounce bottle of water while I'm at the gym, and I drink another one on the way back from the gym, because by that time I'm panting like a dog and need something to drink. While, not very often. Not very often. Every once in a while, I go, and you know what gets me with coffee? It's the smell. Love the smell. Don't necessarily. The flavor isn't necessarily the big thing, it's the smell. You know, it's like, well, that smells so good. And every once in a while, the smell is what gets me to go get a cup of coffee. Or if I'm really cold, which is, it could be in the heat of the summer, I'll be cold, you know. A lot of times, when I'm home, I'll put just lemon and lime in my water. I'll put lemon and lime in my water, and then I'll put a drop or two of, I have liquid stevia, and I'll put a drop or two of liquid stevia and kind of make it like a lemon lime drink. Sure. You know, and of course I have to have it very cold. Room temperature hurts. Yep. You put milk in that coffee? So you know what though? Coffee per se can dehydrate you. More so than a decaf coffee will dehydrate you. Okay? So, you know, that's one of the things you have to look at. Okay. Try an unflavored protein in your coffee. And then, so it's warm, you know. If you had a thermometer, and you had like an unflavored protein, if it wasn't hotter than, it's either 130 or 140 degrees. Anybody remember off? It's 140. So if your coffee's not hotter than 140 degrees, you're not gonna mess up your protein, and chances are you're not gonna mess up your soy. Because when I have coffee, I put in almond milk in my coffee, is what I put in mine. So you can try your soy. I mean, people go to Starbucks all the time and they get a hot drink with soy. So she'll make a pot of coffee and she'll pour her, I got her doing decaf, she'll pour her coffee into a cup and let it cool off. And then she takes a scoop of her vanilla protein powder, puts it with it, shakes it up, and there she goes. She's getting some protein and she's getting her flavor from her coffee.